and they did such an amazing job, and they worked so hard, and they deserve the credit, and I feel sad for them because they got kind of screwed. This movie should not have came out right now. The fact that Disney, I don't know, I mean, obviously they own it, but I cannot believe that Bob Iger is not stepping in and doing something about this, because I'll tell you something. Disney is a business, and they're a business to make money, millions and billions of dollars. And companies, whether or not they're worth 500 billion or 2 billion, they're not going to risk money. And it's very sad that they're allowing this. And I guarantee you, the day the minute those numbers came through in that box office, I guarantee Kathleen Kennedy's phone was ringing, or she was getting a text, and I guarantee it was Bob Iger calling saying, hey, what is going on? And we need to get this fixed. Now, I hope he's intelligent enough to say, you know what? Maybe it's time for Kathleen Kennedy to be put in the pasture, because she needs to be gone. And they need to put somebody in, they need somebody that's going to have a business side and, obviously a fan side. I think that is not only profitable for both Lucasfilm and Disney, but you care about the fans. That was the thing with George Lucas. He got some backlash during episode 1 because of the way Yoda looked. And if you go back and you can watch behind the scenes, that is one of the number one things he talks about getting fixed, because he said the fans noticed it, they weren't happy with it, we need to change it. And that was the direction that he took. Now, I know that he's not always the nicest person, he doesn't go up to fans a lot, but to him it's making movies, it's what he does. He don't look at himself as, a celebrity that is loved by, millions of people. It's his job. That's what he does. And he knows he's good at it. He's confident. And he doesn't get big-headed by it, So when fans are cheering and stuff, it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal to him, because he knows he's successful. He knows he does a good job. And it's no different than a guy that's an awesome construction worker that builds a home and builds a really nice home. You're not going to see him expecting to get high fives. But why? Because he knows he does a good job, or her, or whoever. So a big part. Maybe I can keep this into a 15-minute video. I don't know. We'll see. They need to get something done. We need. I really think Kathleen Kennedy needs to be gone. We need to get somebody else in there. We need to do something. The fans need to step up. I was not part of the boycott for Solo. I don't think that's a direction that we need to go as fans. I think what we need to do is we need to be smart, and we need to write letters. We need to get in contact with Disney and Lucasfilm, and we need to tell them our grievances. Do it on Twitter, Facebook, whatever. I think starting a boycott is not the way we should go. I think that kind of is too diabolical. It has a more of a sinister feel to it. I'm not for that. And not only that, it's not the actors' fault. They didn't do a bad job. A lot of these actors are huge Star Wars fans. I mean, they love it, and that's why they're so proud to do it. And it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's just their job. Most of the time they don't even know what the movie, they don't even know most of the movie at all. They know their parts and stuff, but it's different from when we see it to when they see it. So we can't put the blame on them. We can't get mad at Alden and stuff. It's not his fault, and he did a great job. Like I said, if they're going to make more movies, that's fine. I didn't have a problem with that, but they should have focused on getting this movie good. They should have waited until December, given themselves an extra 6 months to work on it, fix up the details, kind of let things cool down, because a big part of that was the fact that Last Jedi was bad. Okay, people were pissed, and if they would have just given us the Skywalker scene that we wanted, where he comes out and just beats the hell out of that guy, it would have been fine. There would have been people upset, yes, because Skywalker dies, but it would have been tolerable just to give us fans what we all wanted to see. And maybe there's fans out there that didn't want to see that, but you know what? They're very few, because everyone I've talked to wanted to see that. make a movie about Darth Vader going through a ship killing everybody. That's a movie that I want to go see. I'll go watch that for 2.5 hours. I mean, so would anybody. We got to do something to get this ship steered in the right direction. Can JJ pull it off? Episode 9. It's possible. Force Awakens wasn't terrible. It was a good film. But it just depends. J.J. Abrams also insulted us as fans. He made comments about us, guys like me, being scared of women and stuff like that, and that's ridiculous. And I think it was ridiculous for him to say that. And when you're a director and you start, taking criticisms as part of your job, okay, it's no different than a guy running a cash register or a woman running a cash register. You can't go and yell at every single customer when they're rude to you, because that's part of your job. You got to deal with the assholes. You got to deal with the bullshit sometimes, or you're never going to make any money. And that is the problem that they're facing right now, is it's the backlash, because they don't understand why fans are upset, because not everybody thinks like they do. And they are corporate elites, Hollywood elites. They're not like me and probably whoever views this, or just ordinary people. And if they cared about Star Wars and they were such huge fans like they say, they wouldn't allow this to happen. They would have done something different. They would have taken care of us. And it's sad, because most of us, especially when I was growing up in the early 90s, we never thought we would get another Star Wars film. When George Lucas created Episode 1, that was, Christmas like 100 times over, because we were like, what? We thought it was over. And, when he did it, and there was backlash back then, but nothing like it is now. And don't listen to the stupid ass media when they try to say that, well, people were upset, with Return of the Jedi. Yeah, okay, maybe a couple people, but what, those were iconic films. They were successful, people loved them. Okay, there might have been some people that had issues with certain scenes, whatever, but to this day, I've never met one single person that did not like any one of those movies. So, and I know thousands upon thousands of Star Wars fans. I've lived in multiple different states, probably over 100 different towns in the last 10 years. I know a lot of people, and I've met a lot of people, and talked to a lot of people about this. So, and not one time have I've met some people that don't like Star Wars, but I've never met a person that was a fan or called himself a fan that hated the first 3 movies. Never. Not to this day. The prequels, yes, but once again, didn't have the original people. When Force Awakens came out, it crashed the fucking internet with a teaser trailer. And the reason why was because of the original cast. We all know they're getting old. We lost Leia. It's sad. It sucks. Okay. We still have Harrison Ford. We have Billy D. Williams, Lando. We got Skywalker, Mark Hamill. I mean, if you want to end the trilogy, you want to end the movies, that's fine. You want to go in a different direction, that's fine. Don't destroy the characters people care about. Give them the honor they deserve. Give them the ending that they deserve. I hope that Episode 9, that JJ can bring all this shit together and wrap up all this bullshit and just give fans what they want. And we know Luke is fucking dead or whatever bullshit they did. And Han, Jesus Christ, they killed him off. We don't even know. Like, where was the funeral? He didn't get a funeral? We've seen funerals in the past Star Wars films. Why didn't we get one now? Where was the grieving scene when in The Last Jedi, when fucking Skywalker finds out Han's dead? We didn't even get none of that. None of that. It's the Mark Hamill. I was ashamed that he even took that role on after all that bullshit. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it that he allowed it. it's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry for the cussing, but you know, we got to do something. We got to do something different. I hope things can work out. I hope JJ can bring this together. I really honestly think he's going to, because I do think JJ is a fan of this. I think that he got upset, obviously, because of the backlash. And he's a progressive, he thinks that we're all fucking, I'm from the Midwest, alright, so I'm labeled as a fucking racist and all this shit, even though I got a black girlfriend, but, they think I'm a fucking piece of shit. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm none of those things. I'm not a fucking crazy gun-toting American. I love all people. I don't judge anyone. And I think that we're sort of getting off course with bringing all this political, social crap into the movies, and we need to leave it alone. The original films, they had little bits and pieces of political, messages in it, but it was never thrown in our face like it is now. And I feel like if they keep doing that, when I go to see Star Wars film, I go to get away from all that shit. I go to think about, different things and to let loose all of that, those problems. So when you go to see a film now, there's so much of that crap, and it's like, come on, like what are we doing? Like, this is making this movie suck. I don't want to see that shit. It's like, leave it alone. And the sad thing is they won't do it with Marvel, but they'll do it with Lucasfilm, and they're doing it with Star Wars, and that pisses me off. Because we live in America, and if you're watching this from another country, I'm sorry. Hey, I want you on my channel. Come to my channel. I will do that little thing where it'll do different languages. I don't give a fuck. I want you watching. I don't care where you're from. But we live in a country where you can do whatever you want. You can make whatever movie you want, and there's nothing stopping anybody. And that's the way I feel. It's like, you use Star Wars as a platform to get all these stupid messages out. Then go make a movie about it. Why are you gonna go and take something and manipulate it? Something that people love, something that people use to go and escape their everyday bullshit life, because they deal with so much of the shit on a daily basis, and now it's impossible to get away from because it's everywhere. Then if you're on social media, it's really fucking bad. And we just don't need it. Star Wars don't need it, man. Star Wars helped me out as a child. I grew up in an abusive home. I was taken by the state and put into foster care. But I always had Star Wars. I always loved it. I loved the films, and it always allowed me an escape to get away from all the bullshit. And it's sad as an adult to see it now. It's like, I want my kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews to enjoy it too. But I'm almost scared to, because it's just like, what are they gonna do? They're feeding them all this bullshit, and it's like, I don't want that. I want them to enjoy a fucking futuristic, sci-fi, western set in space movie, just like I did as a kid. I want all this bullshit to end, and for it to be done, and just make the fucking movie that you were put in charge to do. They're paying you millions of dollars to do it. Do it right. Make it good. Quit worrying about all this other bullshit and get it done. That's all I got. That's all I got for this one. This probably went on more than 15 minutes. If you like the video, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all later.